For unbelievable 20 years, this company is responsible for incubating more, for promoting and demanding innovation, for bringing industry and startups together, for ensuring that founders follow the path not only effectively, but above all, efficiently. And all this with a constant enthusiasm that has also to do with the following speaker. Because he has not only contributed significantly to the creation of the company, but also leads it today. Join me in welcoming Professor Dr. Helmut Schoenenberger, CEO of UnternehmerTUM, and look forward to his thoughts on empowering the next generation of AM entrepreneurs and experts. Helmut, it's a pleasure to have you here. The stage is yours. Warm applause, please. Good to have you.
So, thank you, Sven, and it's such a pleasure to be here, and it's so fantastic that Oerlikon and all these partners are here with TUM to partner to really build a super cool AM community. And it takes really time. When you said 20 years, so for us it took 20 years to build this ecosystem at TUM to be one of the most entrepreneurial universities. And so look at my hair. So I started as a student here. Now I'm a vice president at the university with a lot of gray hair. So it takes time. And I think this is also a message for our ecosystem here. If we really want to build up one of the best startup and AM ecosystems in the world, it's a marathon, okay? It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And so I'm an aerospace engineer. And aerospace engineers love to build new things. And this is also why I'm really passionate about 3D printing and additive manufacturing. So it gives us the tools, the means to really come up with innovative solutions. And it's not only a space of creativity, but it's also a space where we can really build sustainable solutions. And I think this is really now key. So we have thousands of students in our programs, and if you talk to the students, what really excites them, it's not so much, it is also earning money, but it's also really contributing to a sustainable future and really have impact. And this is, I think, also a huge chance for us as the AM community to really come up with these solutions. So Arno, thank you for your speech. And so we heard so many nice examples and also good news how our startups really come up with new solutions. And if you look at the success stories of the TUM and UnternehmerTUM ecosystem, there's also a lot of 3D printing technology behind it. And so I'm as an aerospace engineer, one of my favorite examples is ESA Aerospace. So this startup started as a student club, actually. And now they're at the edge of really building the European SpaceX here, really a large-scale company. And at the core, we also have AM technology, because they're printing their engines on 3D printing technology. And this is really great to see that we are not only talking about these technologies, but our startups and our teams are really using it. So the engine is running, and so TUM, and as a vice president for entrepreneurship here at TUM, we are totally committed to build this ecosystem. So we bring thousands of students in the pipeline. We have hundreds of projects running also in the AM field. And we start every week another scalable company. And also from a value creation perspective, we really gain momentum. So we are now have about 20% market share in Germany on high-tech, high-growth companies. But we are not only in the startup ecosystem, but we are also in an industrial ecosystem. And James was mentioned that for the Boston area, I think what he said also applies to Munich. So we are one of the most industrial developed clusters in the world with all these great companies in the southern German ecosystem. And we can really use this core competence we have here. And so within our ecosystems, we have hundreds of partners like Oerlikon and many more who really contribute to this ecosystem and also work in teams on new solutions and then are also able to scale it. And just to give you a flavor how strong this ecosystem have become. So last year alone, our startups raised over $3.5 billion. So it's only the TUM and UnternehmerTUM startups alone. It's a market share of about 60% in Bavaria and about 20% in Germany. And with that, we are about 10 to 20 times more active as an average German university. So it's possible if people come together and really collaborate. And what you see is the pipeline here. So we have about 40 to 50 new venture rounds in seed and pre-seed phase. But then, and this is also now a difference between the last 10 years, that we now see these really huge rounds on a billion base, like Celonis raising in one round 1 billion, or Flix like 500 million. So now we are really playing this international game, and we are also attracting a lot of international VC money. And so all the local VC funds like AM Ventures or UnternehmerTUM Venture Capital are extremely important because we are the local guys here. And so we set the floor, we do the first rounds, but then we have all these international contacts to really have also these huge $1 million rounds where we really build global players. So that's, I think, really positive. Now let's talk about the homeworks we have to do, and especially in the additive manufacturing field. So if you really map this, the general development to all the 3D activities, we see that there's still not enough traction with people. So I think we have to do a better job to really attract more people on the topic, really excite more people about additive manufacturing, and also give them the necessary tools really to either improve technology or build applications on it. And it's super to have this community here, but just look at the whole spectrum, at the whole numbers. So our university alone has 50,000 students, 50,000. We have 10,000 employees. We have hundreds of thousands of alumni. And I think there's still a lot of potential left to really excite these people about additive manufacturing. And if we do this, I think we have a chance really to come to the same level as we see it now with AI, with software. So there's really a lot of things to do. So we are not, we haven't really tapped this potential so far. But at TUM, we are not only talking, but we're really get things moving. So what's nice is now, as the entrepreneurial university in Europe, we have a perfect ecosystem. UnternehmerTUM has become the largest European entrepreneurship center. And our next step is that we really have to get deeper into special industries and technologies. So we started a new initiative called the TUM Venture Labs, and we excited another German industrial family, so the Strüngmann family, who are behind companies like BioNTech, and they say, okay, let's shift to the next gear. And so they donated 25 million euros. Then also family members are also in our advisory board for the TUM Venture Labs and really close to it. And we said, okay, let's build on 10 focus fields where we think there are the trends and the potentials to really come to the next level and also evolve here in the Southern German ecosystem so we can really play the international game. And one of the fields is additive manufacturing. And what's for us fantastic is that it's not only coming from the university side, but that we have also these strong industrial players like Oerlikon or EOS who are also not only willing, but they are also doing it. So they join forces with us. They start innovation teams, research teams with us. And I think this is the way really to build a perfect AM ecosystem here in Munich. So it's what you see here, this is only the ecosystem for the additive manufacturing field. What's nice is that it's really involved, enveloped into a larger ecosystem. And what we are looking for is first to target the right technologies and industries, but then also to really have these synergies between these technologies and industries. And that's the big strategy we are pursuing as TUM now with the TUM Venture Labs, with these fields like additive manufacturing, like software AI, like healthcare, where we build strong teams. And these teams are connected. And what they are doing is, based on this platform we already built the last 20 years, to have special teams on these topics like aerospace or healthcare, where we tackle all the special problems of these industries. For example, in healthcare, it's reimbursement issues, for example, clinical trial issues. In aerospace, it's regulatory problems. In food, it's getting access to pharma. So every industry has its own issues. We address these problems, help our startups, and then connect them. And this is the next big thing we are doing. And each of these venture labs helps to educate people in the field. So this means also that in additive manufacturing, we train people to understand the technology, to use the technology, and to apply the technology. When they apply it, for example, they do a nice master thesis in this space and they come up with a great solution. We help them also to build their own company. So that's in the venture field. And then we also build these special communities around it. And here back to this conference and this ecosystem, it's already there. So if you look at all the partners we already have, it's such a vivid and good ecosystem, and let's use it, bring more talent in, initiate new projects, and then we will see great success stories. And this is back to this pipeline chart now after 20 years. So the great startups we now celebrate, this is the work from the last 5 years. So we jumped on a topic, built teams, build prototypes, and then scaled, and it's really working out. If you really are able to gain momentum, to have enough projects and teams in the pipeline, you will end up with super success stories. And it's always people behind it. So here in the additive manufacturing field, we are very happy also to have a dedicated team. So Sasha Schwarz, I'm not sure. Sasha, are you here? Okay, super. So Sasha is the operations director of the new lab. So it would be great if you connect to him. Then we have Peter Meyer. So I think Peter will be also here tomorrow on the stage. So he's our academic director, because for us it's important to really bridge academia with industry. And Peter is for us a perfect professor who's really able to have this transfer between academia and industry. Then we have also Tim Lücken. Tim is on the team of UnternehmerTUM. He's running a lot of innovation projects, and his background is also in additive manufacturing. And last but not least, we also have a dedicated startup advisor consultant from our startup consulting services at TUM, who's also dedicated to additive manufacturing. So that's a core team we have here at TUM, and it shows you how much power and how much passion we have in additive manufacturing. And I'm totally enthusiastic and happy about that, and I really believe that we will see huge, large solutions. And Arno was showing this international map about where are the hotspots in the world, and super to have the Boston area, and super to have Silicon Valley. But I think there's so much power also here, and it's up to us to start these great projects. So also, when you said this, use the conference, and hopefully many new teams evolve out of this conference, many new ventures evolve out of this, and then we have these success stories again, create value, and with this, with each success we are building, this ecosystem becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. And so I'm happy also to continue this journey, and let's make these things happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was again the enthusiasm I mentioned up front, it comes over. So we can see it and feel it, and thank you so much for fostering the ecosystem here. One question to you before we go to the questions of the audience. You mentioned the many initiatives. You mentioned the growing amount of partners or companies that are investing, the growing amount of investment as well. But on the other side, you mentioned the challenges we are experiencing right now. Would you say, with your experience, is it easier or more difficult today to build up a startup and to grow in this ecosystem?
I think these are it's the perfect time to build to build your startup. So, so you have all the resources here, and with a good team, you're able to build huge value. And it's, for me, what's really fantastic is to see the young students. Okay, we have a lot of students here, 50,000. Okay, and then there are about 6,000 who think about starting their company, and actually maybe 500 start the journey. And out of these 500, 50 really start a high-growth company, and they become really superstars in a very early stage. Like Miriam and Oliver, you just saw here, and they are super successful, and they pursue a great career, have a super positive impact on our ecosystem and on the world, and they also earn a lot of money. And so I think it's the perfect time, and go for it. Go for it.
Very, very important for the startup pitches we hear later. You heard there's a lot of money you can request for. Thank you so much. Are there any questions from the audience before I have another question? Is there a question from the audience? Feel free, because we sometimes get the chance to have Helmut on stage, but this is a good moment
but
to
maybe
squeeze him.
Sasha, maybe where are you, Sasha? Okay, just maybe stand up and give a 1-minute pitch so everybody knows, because this is the guy who connects you all, hopefully, to our ecosystem. So Sasha, 1-minute pitch, please.
At least he should introduce himself, right? We talked so much about him.
Everybody saw me. Thanks, Helmut, for this nice note. I think you saw me today. I'm Sasha. I'm building up the Venture Lab Additive Manufacturing, and basically we really push teams and young talents to build the next AM-driven startups, innovation, and really tackle the big challenges of our time. So if you're interested in discussing any ideas you have or to want to kickstart your startup idea, just meet me outside in the next minutes or also in this evening, and feel free to discuss. So,
big applause for Sasha, please. There's still one question from my side remaining, Helmut, sorry for that. I mean, we see from time to time, and what would be interesting for me, you just mentioned the specialization of the venture labs and that you're building these focused teams. Has the need of the startups changed over the last years? Are they better informed when getting to you, or what is the strongest need they have when getting in touch with UnternehmerTUM?
Exactly, so I think it's becoming really an industry. So building startups is becoming an industry. And just look at the numbers. So last year we got 3.5 billion into our ecosystem. So this year it will be. So we already have 1.5 billion also allocated this year. So the valuation behind it, it's sometimes over 10 billion per year, the value which is created here per year. So it's becoming a real professional industry. It's also the driver for our country. Yeah? So our startups are creating tens of thousands of new jobs, and what we see is that this is becoming really a professional business. Okay, and this is the difference. And what we have to do also as a European ecosystem and a German ecosystem and a Bavarian Munich ecosystem is to build a perfect ecosystem so our teams have an unfair advantage to run like 3 times the speed as the other ones, because they get more know-how, more resources, and also to give them the infrastructure, the access to technology, to customers, and also the financial means you need really to build up global leaders. And that's the game here. So it's nice to build like an engineering company with 10 people. This is nice, and we also should have this. But what we need here is really to build new global players who are really leaders in their niche market, or if it's good, also in the global market, like companies like Flix or Celonis, which become category leaders. And so that's the game, and that's what we have to do also as a university here. And so that's my role here as Vice President Entrepreneurship. Is the mission of our university is to be an excellent research university, to be an excellent education university, but also to be one of the best innovation and startup universities in the world. And so far it works out, and there are only 3 other ones in the world who have the same traction, which is Stanford, Tsinghua, and NUS. And it's good to be in this club.
Very good. We do have a question. Thank you, Emil. We do have a question from the audience. It's a very specific question, but nevertheless, I want to ask it because this is what we are here for. So how important are patents, and how important is it to secure your intellectual property against the industry? Because you are bringing the startups together with the industry. How important is that to secure that?
It's important, and in some fields it's total critical, mission critical, like in life sciences, for example, in the medtech field. There are other industries, like in software, where it's not so critical, but it is, and also happy to be here in Munich, because in Munich we have the most patent attorneys in Europe, because the European Patent Office is here. There's a lot of competence here, and use it. And we also have partnerships with the European Patent Office, and many of our alumni actually are also patent attorneys, and it's also for that the perfect ecosystem here in Munich.
Great. Thank you so much for answering the question. Helmut Schoenenberger, this is your applause. Thank you so much for being here, Helmut. Great.